Yamaha presents the Whitetail Diaries, chronicling hunting adventures of the most plentiful and intelligent big game animal in North America. Join top whitetail hunters nationwide. Embark on the amazing adventure that is hunting the whitetail deer. Today, on the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries, Jeremy Boone from Cabela's has been invited to deer camp this week, and he's brought along something new from Cabela's, the Cabela's Instinct line of rifle scopes.
So the Instinct line is Cabela's premium line of optics. They provide the highest end performance you can possibly get at a price point that was previously unattainable for that kind of product. So it's European-made optics, comparable to your other high-end European optics, but at far less of a price. It's really a value proposition, and for the whole system, it's all, HD optics, great lens coatings, extreme durability. It's something you can count on no matter where you're hunting or what you're hunting. It's something we're pretty proud of. It's a program we've had around for a while now. We've made some tweaks to it over the years, and we're really happy with where it's at, and it's performed great, and I can tell you that a lot of people have taken a lot of great animals with it, and it's proven itself in the field time and time again.
Cabela's has long been known as the world's foremost outfitter. And when you look at the halls of the people that work at Cabela's, they're people that they get outdoors. They don't just sit behind that desk and look at numbers. There's some die-hard hunters in that company, die-hard outdoorsmen, die-hard sportsmen, people that not only know the product's specifications from a retail standpoint, but they know from experience how it works in the field. And the optics is one of those arenas and areas that, to me, that's just so important, because when I look at optics, I demand performance, I demand durability, I demand something that's going to be able to withstand a harsh environment and use. Not looking for something, I don't care how pretty it is, I want the inner workings to be there for me. I want it to perform when I need them, no matter what I've put it through leading up to that time.
The Instinct scopes are great for a few reasons, and one being, of course, the price point as compared to the quality. And really, the optical quality is what stands it out as top of the line. The low light performance really is almost unmatched, and you have no worries that you'll be able to see your target when it's the most important time of day. And then you've got other features just like we've done with the outside of it. It's just a good looking scope, it's sleek, it looks good on the gun, and it's not something that's gonna get in the way. But it's a good complement to any good rifle. Knowing that this line is the top of the heap when it comes to optics, but more consumers can afford it, that's something that we're really excited about.
Well, now Jeremy is all sighted in, so when we return, he'll head out for his first hunt. Hey, you want to learn more about Cabela's Instinct line of optics? Head on over to your local Cabela's or visit their website at Cabelas.com. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by ATV and side-by-sides. Real world tough. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Garmin Rhino 7 Series. Wherever you hunt, make it Rhino country.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.
It's in our stomping grounds and our playground. It's in our sights and our commitment. It's in him, it was in them, and it will continue with her. It's in my nature. Is it in yours?
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Well, Jeremy Boone from Cabela's is putting the new Cabela's Instinct rifle scopes through its paces, and we'll join him now on his first hunt here at camp.
So for out here, I chose to use the 4.5 to 14 by 44 rifle scope with the EXT reticle. It's just a good mid-range option. So it provides 4.5x magnification on the low end, 14 on the high end with a 44 millimeter objective. So, you know, out here, nothing's gonna be too terribly far away shooting wise. So just in case you had to reach out a little ways, it's nice to have that little extra magnification. But you know, realistically, you're going to be shooting probably 100 to 200 yards at the most, if I had to guess. And I would tell you that one of the most important things that we know about hunting is performance in low light hunting situations. Whether it's early in the morning or late in the evening, that's when you see the biggest animals. That's when they come out, if they do at all. But if they're it's going to be in low light situations usually. That's one of the things we take pride in with the Instinct rifle scopes and the Instinct optics line in general is the low light performance. And that all has to do with, you know, your optical system, your lens system, and the HD lenses and the coatings that are used on them that really set them apart from the pack. So we hunted one the first morning that was an elevated blind, hard-sided blind, and it was a really nice setup. There's plenty of room for the both of us, and had a good view of about 270 degrees around us, and it was basically spotty trees with some openings to our left and front and to our right. The terrain's a bit different than in Nebraska. You got a lot more of the scrub brush and kind of sage around in between the trees. But it's fairly green right here, right now. As Wade was telling me earlier, it seems like they've got quite a bit of moisture compared to the years prior. Yeah, the first morning, just about as soon as we got in the blind, right as the sun was coming up, we started seeing does coming in pretty steadily from about all sides. And then a handful of bucks. Probably saw, I don't know, 5 bucks, 6 bucks that first morning. And we had one that we looked at pretty closely. He was right on the verge of being a shooter, but I think we all agreed that he had the potential to be a real nice deer here in a couple years, and that's kind of what they're very cognizant of down here. And of course, we are up where we hunt up north. You know, that deer has a lot of potential over the next couple of years, so you may as well let it walk and try to find one that's, you know, a little bit older and, you know, has had its chance to grow as big as possible. So we ended up watching that one for a while, and it was a great buck, and I imagine that they'll see it over the next couple of years, and someone will be real excited to shoot it here in the future.
Want to see more Whitetail Diaries content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch your favorite moments and behind-the-scenes footage from the show. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. Sawyer Products, we keep you outdoors. Smith & Wesson Performance Center, performance when it matters most. 10-point crossbows. Perfection lives here.
The art of the hunt is not painted with a broad brush. Its eye is in the details. The note on the refrigerator, a set of broadheads, tried and true, the well-worn boots, soaked in doe estrus, and a Garmin Rhino, the only GPS with two-way radio. Clear the rhubarb out of the freezer. It's whitetail season in Rhino country.
Efficient power, shooting 370 feet per second at only 140 pounds of draw weight. The ultralight Eclipse RCX boasts next-generation reverse cam technology, taking your performance to inspiring new levels. 10-point. Perfection lives here.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton.
So for the evening hunt, we came back to camp, obviously, got some food, made a game plan for the evening, and moved out to the spot on the food plot. And they'd been seeing a few bucks there recently that were shooters that they were interested in getting after. So we went and took a look. We looked at a couple pictures. There was a big 7-point that'd been running around there, and then a 10-point that was on camera but they hadn't seen yet in person. And so we thought there was some good potential at that food plot. Went and sat there and right away started gathering up. After we got there, that 7-point came out, and we got to look at him for, it seemed like a couple hours. He's a great looking deer. But knowing that we had that 5x5, the nice symmetrical one on camera, we wanted to wait and see if he would show up. And it was getting harder and harder to wait by the end of the night watching that 7-point walk around. Yeah, I think the 7-point by that point almost wanted to be shot. He just kept walking around and he'd stand broadside and just slight quartering and just kept saying, you know, here's your shot, here's your shot. And we'd kind of talked about it, and I decided, you know, I kind of like good symmetrical, typical deer, a good symmetrical 5x5. We had talked about it coming into the hunt that night, and that was the one I was waiting for. And don't get me wrong, the 7-point's a great deer. Tall tines, he's an awesome one, and someone will be lucky to shoot him. Finally there towards the end, probably about 45 minutes before shooting light was up, I saw that 7-point start acting a little funky over by the trees, and he kept looking back into the trees, and all of a sudden I saw the head of that 5x5, the 10-point, looking out, and the 7 started scraping a tree and acting real aggressive, trying to chase him out of there. Seemed like that 7-point kind of ran that area, that was his group there, and you could tell he was pretty aggressive right away when that 10-point showed up.
Hey, when we return, Jeremy has a quick decision to make, as his shooter that he's been looking for could get run off by the Alpha 7-point. Be sure to stay current on our latest prizes and giveaways. Like us on Facebook and follow along on all our entries into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Conquest Scents, hunting scents and dog training scents. Bradley Smoker, food smoking made easy. Walkers, protect it or lose it.
We plan all year for this. We hone our skills. We have confidence in the gear we choose. When the time comes, will you be ready? We're giving away 10 DS4K models between now and the end of the year. To enter for your chance to win, text STEALTH to 59262.
Engel's got the original high-performance cooler and a whole lot more. Engel coolers, go with the original.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Well, that shooter that Jeremy's been looking for just arrived on the scene, but a 7-point bruiser has started to show his dominance. Now Jeremy has to make a decision on when to pull the trigger.
We probably didn't have long to make a decision on whether or not we would shoot, and I think we both decided pretty quickly that it was worth taking a shot at. It seemed to get like he was going to get a little finicky, and we didn't want to wait around and see what was going to happen. So I would say within a minute of that 10-point coming into our field of view, we had to make a shot on him, or he might have got chased out of there before we had a chance to do anything about it.
Looks like he ran straight back in the trees right behind where he shot. Yeah, I think I hit him center mass behind the shoulder. Jumped up right away like he was hit. I just couldn't see where it was. Blew my hat right off my head. This nice looking deer, he's good and tall on the back, just kind of grabs on the front. Good solid 10-point though. We've seen a lot of deer coming through. We had about 30 of them by the time we got it all said and done. And had a real nice 7-point, 3 on one side and 4 on the other. It was milling around all night, and he kept tempting us, going broadside right in front of us. We were waiting to see if one of the 10 points would come out. Finally, here about half an hour before shooting lights up, One of the 10 points came out of the woods scraping the trees and got that 7 point all riled up. They were both back there scraping the trees, and he popped out and took a good look at him. We saw pictures of him earlier, and put a shot on him about a couple minutes later.
So it looked like we got a pretty good double lung shot, and so we had good frothy blood right there at the beginning, and pretty consistent blood right at the beginning. It wasn't anything where we had to wait a whole heck of a long time. We were able to get right on him, had solid blood every few steps. There's last blood back behind that tree there. Looks like we got a dead deer right up here. You can barely see him through the trees here. Looks like he didn't make it too far. It's a heck of a deer. We sat there looking at that 7 point all night. Said, no, we better wait and see if one of those 5x5s comes out. Made a shot on him pretty quick within about a minute of him showing up, and he jumped up, and it's pretty awkward, worried that the shot wasn't in the right spot, but he must have been all jacked up from seeing that 7 point and getting ready to go at it, that he took off through the trees, but he didn't make it near as far as originally guessed, and put a good shot on it. Couldn't be happier. It's an awesome deer. It's pretty symmetrical on both sides. Rubbed off one of them brows a little bit, probably beating up on a little guy. He's got nice crabs on the end of them, both sides. Sweet deer. I had all the confidence in the world in optics and in my rifle after sighting it in. It's more in that case than it's just, you know, it's on me to take the shot. You know, there's only one person to blame or one thing to blame when it goes wrong. When you know that you've got a good setup like I had, there's no question that the optics are going to be on. The rifle scope's going to be aimed where it's supposed to be. Then it's on the shooter to make sure it happens. So that's one good thing about having a good setup like that, and having something like the Instinct rifle scope is you're not questioning your equipment when you're going to take the shot, and that takes away a lot of your nervousness when you pull the trigger. There's only one person and one thing that can mess it up, and that's you in that case.
Hey, congratulations, Jeremy, on your entry into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Well, that'll do it for us this week, and we'll see you next time.
The thing about public land is that most people hunt the same old beaten path. The thing about you is, you're not most folks. Introducing the new TC Compass, only by Thompson Center. Follow your own compass with America's master gunmaker.
The Bubba Blade 4-inch gut hook, featuring Mossy Oak Breakup Country, fashions a high-carbon stainless steel blade built perfectly to meet your needs. Designed for effective precision cutting, the famous Bubba Blade handle, featuring Mossy Oak Breakup Country, providing ultimate control when harvesting your game. Bubba Blade, the ultimate sportsman's knife. Man versus nature. It's a tale as old as time. An external struggle, pitting the hero against an animal in a battle of strength and wits. to see who'll come out victorious. Will you accept the challenge? Performance Center by Smith & Wesson. Performance when it matters most.
You work hard to put feed where you need it, when you want it. And thanks to our patented SpinTech spinner mechanism that elevates up and down, you'll no longer have feed go to waste due to wind or unwanted varmints. When the motor is shut off, the spinner plate is automatically pushed up tight and sealed against the hopper, protecting your feed. Stop wasting your time and let the SpinTech technology work for you.
Many said that we were just obsessed when we started, that there had to be an easier way to smoke food. As time passed, the Bradley family created a lineup of Bradley electric smokers that has made it easier for the novice or even expert chef to get perfect results every time they use it. Grab yourself a Bradley smoker and take your cooking to an all-new level.
High-vis shooting systems knows that your shooting performance matters in all conditions. All high-vis shooters experience faster target acquisition with our durable light wave sights. Featuring easily interchangeable light pipes, light wave sights give your eyes the exact sight picture you crave. Shoot high-vis. See what you've been missing.
What does it take to make Evercom deer scent? It takes a deer farmer who raises whitetails. It takes mixing the special blend of Evercom, testing each batch.
That smells good.
And then pouring each container. Once it's cooled, each container is cleaned, examined, and packaged for shipping. It takes the finest deer herd and a great team of people to make the best hunting scent available. Evercom from Conquest Scents.
Purina's Quick Drop is the perfect solution for attracting deer to your location and providing them with the essential nutrients that will encourage their growth.
Use these blocks where you can, and I promise you, not only are you going to see more game, but the game's going to benefit from you placing it out.
Hercules Outdoor Industries is the new leader in hunting blinds. However you hunt, Hercules is the one blind for all needs. Hercules blinds are entirely made in the USA using high-quality fiberglass components that can last through rain, snow, and all those cold winters. All Hercules fiberglass hunting blinds are foam insulated and carpeted, and Hercules Outdoor Industries will arrange to have it delivered directly to you. Find out more at HerculesOutdoors.com.
When you're out hunting, make sure you're carrying GroveTech. GroveTech is designed specifically for the rigorous demands of the hunt and sets the standard for strength and ruggedness when out in the field. GroveTech products have simply built the best tools for the job and are proudly made in the USA. Go hunt. We'll carry the gun. GroveTech.
Since 1984, Sawyer Products has offered the most technologically advanced solutions for protection against sun and bugs. Sawyer Picaridin insect repellent is effective against mosquitoes and flies. It's safe on you and your gear. And to maximize your protection, use a combination of Picaridin with odorless permethrin for your clothing and gear. Sawyer's Stay Put sunscreen will keep you comfortable and getting better protection for even longer. You're already outdoors. Sawyer keeps you there.
Every day, your eyes are exposed to dust, debris, and wind. Only Wiley X removable gaskets block it all out, and your eyes remain safe. Wiley X, absolute premium protection for sportsmen.
Protect it or lose it.
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 Trusted and used by the most experienced sportsmen to keep their game cold and fresh, Arctic Ice is the most reliable and longest-lasting reusable cooler pack available. But you don't have to be a serious hunter or extreme fisherman to enjoy all the benefits of Arctic Ice in your cooler. Whether it's road trips with the family, weekend tournaments, or backyard barbecues, Arctic Ice will make sure your cooler stays ice cold for days with no mess. Arctic Ice, no hassle, no mess, colder than the rest.